13 is the unluckiest number, not when you're a Swiftie. First of all, if you think my makeup looks whack, I agree with you. It looked fine in my vanity light, but I need to do it under the lighting I end up filming in. Would a better YouTuber just refilm? Yeah, but that's not me. Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more Taylor Swift content. First of all, I want to thank everyone who submitted their unpopular Taylor Swift opinions. I was so afraid I was going to get like 2, and then I ended up with just a ton. So I'm probably going to make this a series. I'll likely do another one after Red's release that's like reacting to your unpopular Red Taylor's version opinions. So if you want to participate in any future videos in this Taylor Swift unpopular opinion series, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Blondie Songwriter. That's where I will have you guys submit them through my Instagram story. Also, I made a TikTok. It's just Nicole_Miller77. I'm going to use it to post more Swiftie content, but like stuff that's not enough to make an entire YouTube video about. Like somebody commented that they wanted some sort of content about Wildest Dreams Taylor's version, but I don't know how to turn that into a whole YouTube video. Right now, there's literally just a video of my cat on there, but as things happen, I'll probably use it to just post more spontaneously, casually, maybe like some rants or theories. I also maybe want to do some like mini book content or like little immigrant parent jokes. I don't know, but go follow me on there for Swiftie stuff between my YouTube uploads. And let's just get right into this because there are so many. I've organized them into sections and I will have timestamps down below so you can skip around. 1 step forwards, 3 steps back is just Olivia Rodrigo trying to do Tell Me Why, and it kind of works, but not. If you watched my last unpopular Taylor Swift opinions video, you'll know I don't really like her music that much. So I listened to that song once and it wasn't one of the ones that stood out to me, so I can't agree or disagree. I will say I did see somebody online comparing it to Dear John, so Mary's song is and always will be better than Starlight. Mary's song is a really good song on debut. I feel like there's going to be a newfound appreciation of it during Taylor's version. For me, I have to disagree because I feel like Taylor's writing just gets better and better with every album, and Starlight is such a good song. We would not have The Last Great American Dynasty if it wasn't for Starlight. The 3 debut deluxe tracks are the bottom 3 from the album. Okay, I'm only me when I'm with you though, especially that music video she had that was just home videos of her and her mom. Like, we wouldn't have that if not for that one. Or was I Heart ? Yeah, it was a bonus track for the Best Buy download. I gotta say, A Perfectly Good Heart is really not her best work at all. It's very repetitive and cliche, but I'm Only Me When I'm With You is such a bop. I Heart ? Invisible's okay, I guess. I mean, I half agree with you. Hey Steven is elite. I got a newfound appreciation for Hey Steven with Taylor's version of Fearless because those drums are so interesting to me. I love the way they sound. It's just a really nice song. It's pretty good, especially for her earlier work. Most of the TV Fearless songs sounded nicer but had less dramatic teen charm. Yeah, I agree with that. She's gonna sound different. I really appreciate the technique she uses to sing these days. The more mature vocals, it just seems a lot more pleasant. But yeah, she had like a feisty anger back when she was a teenager. I mean, we all know this, the whole Joe Jonas, the monologue, the Ellen show, the Joe Barbie doll. I could go on. She had a bone to pick, and you can hear it in her voice. Fearless is the best song off Fearless. If the album stopped there, I wouldn't be upset. Okay, hang on, let's look at the track listing. Fearless is number 1. You could go without literally the rest of the album. I feel like you're being like devil's advocate right now. I don't believe you. I don't believe you pretty much don't like Fearless. I Believe It Was a Tuesday is the most fun thing to sing. I gotta one-up you with Shade Never Made Anybody Less Gay. I would die to scream that at a concert, or literally like the entire bridge of Cruel Summer. That would just be a religious experience. It's not like I could afford to go anyways, but like I'm sad that I'll never know what that could be like, even from someone else's perspective. She's never performed Cruel Summer live. I need to take a minute. I have always liked Forever and Always original better than the piano version. I see what you mean. I definitely like the production of her maybe like first 3 albums, the way it was like incredibly dynamic and all those guitar solos and stuff. I think that was so fun. But also I'm glad that there are some stripped down versions of some of the songs because they need to exist. Some of her head voice vocals, they need to exist. Fearless is the worst album. Okay, but like it won album of the year. No, I definitely think Debut is probably the weakest one. And no offense to it or anything, it's her very first work. Like she only got better from there. I think that You Belong With Me is not like other girls and has a bad message. Okay, I half agree with you. Definitely when I'm talking about that sort of content in Taylor songs, I'm thinking of Better Than Revenge more so than You Belong With Me. However, I don't know, the thing that gives me a little more sympathy for this song is that it's very directed at the guy, and I don't think there's anything too like wrong with just being like, oh, I'd be so much better for you. Like, we've all done that. I think there's innocence to that. But when you look at something like Better Than Revenge, it was personal. She really had a bone to pick with that girl. I guess the fine line is like whether you're like slut shaming or really shaming that girl for how she is versus just really wanting to be with the guy. I don't think she said anything particularly mean about that girl in the song. I don't know. She painted her out to be really upset about everything, so I can kind of see what you mean. I wouldn't say bad message though. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Bye Bye Baby is better than Getaway Car. You're about to get ripped to shreds in the comments. This is why it's nice that these are anonymous. Like these, like you guys can really just let loose. Yeah, I have to disagree with you. Bye Bye Baby has a really nice melody, but like lyrically, Getaway Car is so complex. The picture she's painting is insane. Like it just goes back to how she has improved over the years. What was the time distance between Fearless and Reputation? Almost 10 years? Yeah, I would hope Getaway Car would be better than Bye Bye Baby. We Were Happy is the worst deluxe track. It might be my least favorite too. It's kind of slow. I mean, it's not bad by any means. I don't know, I think it's kind of tied with Don't You for me. Those two aren't my favorites. Superstar is better than The Best Day. Okay, I gotta say Superstar is really well written, especially for how young she was, and it's a really cool concept, but like The Best Day being about her mom, and now when she plays it like years later, I just get emotional. The two songs that made me cry when I listened to Fearless TV that didn't before were 15 and The Best Day. Those two in the present time, it just like hurts. I don't know. I never cried to those before, but now I can't listen to them without crying. Speak Now Purple Cover is the better album. Someone else said Hours is the only good bonus track on Speak Now Deluxe, and I would have left the rest off. You guys don't like If We Were a Movie? I understand the Superman hate. I get it. Isn't it about John Mayer? Yikes. I used to cry my eyes out to If This Was a Movie. I know some people like to say like Hannah Montana did it better, but oh my god, the guitar is so pretty. Like that song has such a place in my heart. I wasn't even relating to it when I was like 13 years old bawling my eyes out, but it's something inside me just like snaps. Yeah, I could literally just maybe do without Superman, but other than that, I need the bonus tracks. Haunted acoustic version slaps 100% harder. Okay, slaps is what's confusing me because like the production of Haunted, it is like a dramatic pop rock masterpiece. The dynamics, oh my god, the way it just builds and it's like violins, and then in the live performance, she's like banging that gong. Like, what do you mean? Her just on piano slaps. Like, she sounds really nice, and I'm glad there is a stripped version, but like it slaps. The electric guitar of the original Haunted. I'm not ready for Speak Now re-recording. I never listened to Enchanted if I can avoid it. It seems so immature and cliche in my opinion. I think it's the overall theme of the song that makes it a lot of people's favorite Taylor Swift song. Also, again, the dynamic contrast. Speak Now had a great habit of starting off really quietly on songs and then just building and building and it just exploding with some sort of like wall of sound. It's amazing. It's amazing. Even though it's mostly just like acoustic instruments and nothing like electronically produced too much, the build, they were really working with what they had. I hate Superman. It starts out like she's talking about her dad and then turns out it's her crush. I understand where you're coming from. However, I'm confused why you thought it was about her dad because the very first line is like tall, dark, and Superman. That feels weird to describe your dad as like tall, dark, and whatever, even if it's a play on that. But yeah, and what makes it even worse though, if you are expecting a song about her father and then getting like a crush thing, is that, like I said before, I think it's about John Mayer. Something in his deep brown eyes has me saying he's not all bad like his Reputation. Too bad she was wrong. It's so weird to think about the different states of mind she had to have been in to write Superman and then Dear John, like very likely about the same people. I wonder how far apart those were written. Superman is in my top 5 of all Taylor Swift songs. Last Kiss had the best bridge of any Taylor song. I have a really hard time ranking bridges because it's like all of them are my favorite. I feel like that one's probably more average for a Taylor song. As far as bridges go in general, I mean, yeah, it's freaking amazing, but like the All Too Well bridge exists with that kind of dynamic contrast. Champagne Problems, Illicit Affairs, oh my god. Don't Call Me Kid, Don't Call Me Baby, look at this godforsaken mess that you've made. The pure emotion that goes into some of them, I don't think it's her best. Hours and Mary's song are so underrated, they're my faves. Yeah, they're 100% underrated, but lucky for you, I think they will have a newfound appreciation when they get re-recorded. Me trying to manifest that. You pull off the red hairstyle better than Taylor did, just saying she's pretty but it suits you so well. Why you guys gotta drag me into this? I gotta say thank you, that's very nice, but it's one of my favorite looks Taylor's ever done, the red era style and fashion. I mean, obviously I tried to like emulate it, even though I'm kind of in a weird limbo between Red and Fearless, which is kind of like what we are in right now. So yeah, that and Reputation were some of my favorite fashions she's ever done. I loved the retro, classy look. I just think it was so fun. Also, my mom tells me how how horrible I look in bangs like at least once a day, so this is very much appreciated. I Know Places needs more love. I can't decide if people actually appreciate that song much or not. I don't know, it's nice that it had the voice memo that detailed how it was written, so it got that spotlight on it. Yeah, I think it really depends on the Swiftie whether they're gonna appreciate this one or not, but you know, there's always Taylor's version. Treacherous is the best song off of Red. I mean, you know what I'm gonna say. I think it's All Too Well. However, Put Your Lips Close to Mine as long as they don't touch, Out of Focus, Eye to Eye till the gravity's too much. Like a 21, 22-year-old girl wrote that, and like that's the age I am, and like that's all I strive for whenever I'm writing my own lyrics. So yeah, it's up there. I do think it's one of the best ones on Red. The Last Time is the best duet she's ever done, and then the next one says The Last Time is the worst song on Red. Okay, I think the unpopular opinion here is thinking that The Last Time is amazing because nobody freaking thinks that. I get heated about it because the guitar solo in that song is outstanding. The dynamics are outstanding. I think it is one of the best duets she's ever done, but like nobody freaking likes it. That irritates me. I don't understand what people don't like about that song. Red has a lot of skips. As of right now, because I have played the shit out of that album in the last like nearly 10 years, so as of right now I kind of agree, but it's gonna become refreshed soon and we're gonna disagree then. All Too Well mostly outshines other amazing songs from Red like I Almost Do, Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, and Begin Again. Okay, I agree that All Too Well outshines those songs, but I think it's for a good reason. You know, I've been kind of back and forth on I Almost Do lately. I looked at the lyrics, like really analyzed them, and I was like, this isn't that groundbreaking. Like back in the day it felt like it was, and it really felt kind of like a part 2 to All Too Well maybe. And I really like the thing where she repeats I bet, and it's like a recurring theme in the song. But I do think like Treacherous is better than I Almost Do. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, and Begin Again are pretty good, but I don't think they're even like a second to All Too Well in my opinion. Starlight is top 5 on Red. I actually think I agree with you on this one. I'm not gonna reference my full ranking because I'm lazy, but as I said before, we would not have The Last Great American Dynasty without Starlight. It's an incredibly visual, vivid song. I Almost Do is bottom 3 on Red. I don't think it's bottom 3 just because, God, I don't know. I love all of these songs like they're my children. What's under I Almost Do? I guess We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. That might be my least fave. I don't know. I don't know. You have to consult my tier ranking all of Taylor Swift's songs video. How You Get the Girl is worse than Bad Blood. They're both very cliche though. Okay, I literally looked through both of the lyrics to these songs and I disagree. I think Bad Blood is still worse. I think Bad Blood is my least favorite Taylor Swift song of all time. I'm pretty sure that's how I ranked it. However, I do see what you mean with How You Get the Girl as I was looking through the lyrics. However, the only thing that puts it just like a step above Bad Blood for me is in the first verse of How You Get the Girl. I really like the visuals she's painting of him like standing in the rain and like shaking like a ghost. I like that simile. Other than that, yeah, I'm not too impressed. There's not any standout lyrics. Bad Blood doesn't have a single standout lyric to me other than maybe like band-aids don't fix bullet holes, but the whole first verse up until the first chorus of How You Get the Girl is pretty good. I Wish You Would is the polished version of I Almost Do. Same song, slightly improved. I Wish You Would always felt to me like something she just really quickly came up with to the melody of the track that Antonoff sent her, because that's how she wrote it. Like he sent it to her and she was like, oh, I really like this, and she just started like ad-libbing over it until she had a song, and it definitely feels like that's what she did. Like it doesn't seem crazy poetic or something that she like wrote as a poem first and then turned into a song. Like it just felt like a fast little thing. But I don't know what I ranked higher, I Almost Do or I Wish You Would. They're kind of on the same level to me, I guess, so maybe I agree. I don't know. I think I disagree though, because they're really like that I bet repetition of I Almost Do, and I love the sound. I definitely like the genre of I Almost Do better than the genre of I Wish You Would. This is like an exact science. New Romantics is the polished version of 22, not just better, the same song but better. 22 I feel like gets a lot of hate for like nothing, like just because it's a really radio friendly song that did really well and is super poppy in its sound. The lyrics are so good. We're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. It's very relatable. The details of like it feels like a perfect night to dress up like hipsters and make fun of our exes. It's so specific, and the like who's Taylor Swift anyway. I think it was a really good song, better than a lot of stuff that gets like #1. But New Romantics, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's the polished version. Like I don't see them as like two sides of the same coin like you're maybe seeing them. They're definitely similar in theme. I love the We Cry Tears of Mascara in the Bathroom, Honey, Life is Just a Classroom. That like knocks me off my feet like at least once a day. Yeah, I'm conflicted on that one too. Wonderland is pretty good but not underrated or the best off 1989 like everyone says. I don't think I've met anyone who says Wonderland is the best off 1989. I feel like a lot of people pick Blank Space or Out of the Woods or like Style or Wildest Dreams. I think it is a little underrated underrated, but like that's just kind of gonna be how it is when a song is a bonus track. Did Taylor even ever perform it live? Like I do think it's maybe not like underrated, but underappreciated. People who listen to it and know it exists and remember it, I feel like they really like it, but it just doesn't get the same spotlight as the other songs on 1989. I don't want 1989 TV to be a collab project. I don't want 1989 TV to drop before Red. We'll see if we're gonna be disappointed. I don't think it's gonna be a collab project. I'm kind of confused on exactly what that means. I think she might have some vocalists joining her to sing like harmonies behind her, or if there was something that was originally going to be a duet, she's going to keep that the way it is. I would kind of die though if Katy Perry hopped on Bad Blood and Harry Styles hopped on Style. I think I wouldn't exist anymore. But like only if those were like bonus tracks. Like I want the original version of those songs, but like just not the stolen version, you know? Wonderland deserved a music video. Could you imagine the visuals of that though? Unpopular opinion for me, I actually really liked Joseph Kahn's videos for Taylor. Like he did Blank Space, he did Wildest Dreams. I can't remember what else he did, but Out of the Woods, I believe. I actually really like those music videos. It seems like a lot of people roast him and the work he's done for her. But could you imagine if it was like something that hit as hard as those videos, but like Wonderland? I can't think about that. King of My Heart is cute, but not elite. Only good part is the bridge. Salute to me, I'm your American queen, and you move to me like I'm a Motown beat, and you move the kingdom inside my room. That's not like genius to you? The flow of it, the details, the visuals. I mean, it's not one of the best ones off Reputation. I definitely lean more towards like, I did something bad, don't blame me. Like I like those edgier kind of ones, but like that's a really good song. I don't think there's many cliches or like throwaway lines. I'd have to look over it again, but Butterfly Taylor was better than Snake Taylor, but Rep was better than Lover. I liked Reputation more than Lover as an album, and I also liked the aesthetic of Reputation more than Lover's aesthetic, so half agree. New Year's Day is the best song off of Rep. Then Dress, Gorgeous, and So It Goes tie for 2. I mean, yeah, that's really unpopular. I mean, I feel like some people agree that New Year's Day is the best song off of Rep. I feel like New Year's Day is kind of overrated. But like Gorgeous is number 2? Are you kidding? That's odd. I think she started writing Gorgeous before she started dating Joe, not after in retrospect. 100% agree. It definitely feels like something where she like was having a crush on him. I think we have an exact timeline of when she wrote it though, because she has those videos, and I don't think she was with Joe, so I think you're right. I never saw anyone theorizing that she like wrote it long after she started dating him. Look What You Made Me Do is well written, but it sounds ugly and you can't sing or dance to it. I actually feel like my opinion is the opposite. I don't think Look What You Made Me Do is really well written. I think it's one of her worst songs. However, I'm really glad it exists because it's one of the best comeback songs of all time. It's just one of the worst Taylor Swift songs, if that makes any sense. The bar is really high when it comes to Taylor Swift, but like pop music in general, I mean, it's lower. Also, I'm confused why you say you can't sing or dance to it, like that's all she did on the Reputation tour. I do kind of agree it sounds ugly because I'm not a fan of the anti-chorus. I think it's really boring, and I think Lorde does it better. I love singing to it, and the dance that she does that's all like fishnetted thighs, I'm obsessed with that. No Reputation songs are in her top 50. Do I agree with that or not? Let's see. Oh, Call It What You Want is on Reputation. That's number 50 for me. I Did Something Bad is number 29 for me. Don't Blame Me is 26. I think that's it. So I do disagree, but not by a whole lot. None of them are top 20. Delicate is her worst track 5. I actually think Cold As You is her worst track 5, just because that's just the least well-written songs out of all of them. It was like her early work. I like the hook. Also, The Archer is a close second for worst track 5 in my opinion. Her track 5s are insanely good, that it's like none of these are my least faves at all. But like when you compare them to each other, yeah, it's gonna be hard. Everyone's gonna have a really different opinion. Well, unless you're one of those like basic bitches who loves All Too Well like me. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a pretty good song, especially for her earlier work, but I just think it's the worst track 5. That just sounds bad when I say it. Look What You Made Me Do is her worst song, but her most iconic one. Absolutely 100% agree. Well, I don't know if it's the most iconic, because I feel like The Man is also really iconic. It depends how you define iconic. It's like the most iconic song for her, like in pop culture, that left the biggest impression probably. I'm really sad The Man completely flopped when she made it a single. Lover is not the best or one of the worst albums. It's staggeringly mid-tier. I think I agree with you the way it falls for me, because her earlier works do rank lower, and I think Reputation is above Lover, and then I don't know, Red Folklore and Evermore. I don't remember what I've said before in videos. I think I'm dumb because I don't think I fully get Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince still. Listen, I don't blame you for this. It took me like months to understand it, and that's only because I watched this video by the pop song professor. I'll link it in the I don't know where it is. Is it over here? He explains this song. The reason that this song, absolutely amazing, is because the subtlety that Taylor writes with, you see this with like Champagne Problems as well. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince is a political song, but it's incredibly personal. It's like how these issues apply to her and how she felt, and it's incredibly subtle. There are never things about like politics in specific, or she never says the word like election or anything like that. Whereas you contrast it with something like The Man, where at first she's being kind of like vague and only painting the picture as opposed to telling you what she's getting at. Like in the first verse, I would be this, I would be this, I would be this, and you're just seeing what she would be. But then in the chorus, she explicitly says, I'd be the man. That's where we get our huge like transparency. But Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince is so subtle. You know, she talks about, I think, America as a you. You don't know who exactly she's referring to or who she's speaking to. She uses a lot of visual metaphors. I mean, people can take a lot of different meaning from this song. Like, it is political, but it's like, that's the extent to you can describe it with certainty, because like it could mean something different to everybody, and it's especially really personal to her. This is such a good song. But anyways, as I was saying about Champagne Problems, she does the same thing, because like it's a song about a rejected proposal, but she never says words like that, or even like engagement. That word doesn't come up. The biggest one that comes up is bride, and it's like an offhand comment made by someone else. Like, she tells us the story through dialogue and through visuals, and just like immerses us in the story like at a certain point instead of giving us any kind of preface. I could go on and on and on about how much I love the way you can interpret Taylor Swift lyrics to mean like nearly anything, but we're gonna move on. But yeah, you're not dumb. Just like go watch that video. I tell everybody who doesn't understand it to just go watch that video. False God and Afterglow are two sides of the same story. I definitely see this. I agree. The Man is just okay and not groundbreaking. I got so triggered by this. Oh my god. Musically, it had to grow on me because I didn't think that was the best choice of production, but like, holy shit. And the fact that she wanted to write that song for a very long time, good for her. London Boy at BBC Radio 1 is her best live performance, then the Tiny Desk concert. Yeah, honestly, that's a really freaking good performance. However, I don't know if I agree or disagree because I am so obsessed with every single performance. I will say maybe my favorite performance is either that Red performance from 2012 at... was it the VMAs? I don't remember. Also, Don't Blame Me on the Reputation Stadium tour. That's another one that's really highly ranked for me. The Man acoustic version is also mind-blowing. I recently learned it's not "He looks so pretty like a devil," but I like that line more. I knew the line from the second I heard it, and I was so confused why people thought that was the line. Yeah, I'm obsessed with "He looks up grinning like a devil." It's so... how do I even describe this? It's like forbidden toxic romance. But also, I saw a TikTok that was like, "He looks up from where, Taylor? He looks up from where?" I'm sorry. I had to impose that on all of you. Cruel Summer shouldn't have been a single. It's better as a hidden gem. Well, I mean, you got your way. I think it was supposed to be a single, but then the pandemic said not anymore. And I think we were supposed to get a music video. And if that was what was supposed to have happened, I'm mad that it didn't. So I do disagree. The Archer is the best track 5. You already know I disagree. The Lover album was mostly, keyword mostly, bad and unnecessary after False God. Are you literally just feeding me my own opinions from my last video? Yeah, mostly. I mean, I don't know, I'm glad it's there, but it's like, I don't really find myself listening to much after False God. I Think He Knows is top 3 of all time. It's severely underrated. A lot of people hate I Think He Knows. I think people at the secret sessions for Lover even were like, oh, that one was not very good. Like, what? Oh my god. I think it's so fun. It's so fun to dance to. Like, if I could dance. I don't think it's top 3, but it is underrated. Me is actually pretty good. There's no need to be 100% serious and use complicated vocabulary all the time. I don't think people dislike it because it's not 100% serious. Like, there are some really good fun songs by Taylor Swift that are just like, she is educating me. You know what I mean? Like New Romantics, for example. The Last Great American Dynasty. It's a bop. Blank Space. Oh my god. 22 even, as I said before. And I do think it gets a little more hate than it deserves. It's pretty well written. I really like the snare, and I like just the dynamics of the song overall. It has a chorus that's very satisfying to the ear, so that's nice. And I think it's cute. Like, those lines songs aren't like cliche by any means. Like the whole Cool Chicks reference to the Chicks collaboration, like it was a pretty good lead single for what it needed to do, even though I personally, it is one of her worst songs. I'm a very conflicted individual. Afterglow is severely overrated. I agree. That's not really her best writing. It feels very early Taylor and like really basic. Like she describes the guy's emotion as blue when it's like she literally says shit like calamitous grief only one album later, you know what I mean? I don't think it's the most thought through songwriting. Lover is her worst title track. I strongly disagree. I mean, I don't think it's my absolute favorite. No, it's not, because Evermore is amazing. The worst song, I thought about this actually when I read this one. Even though these songs are very high up for me, I think it's maybe Speak Now or Red. There's not a whole lot of title tracks actually, but yeah, it's maybe one of those two. London Boy is the worst song from Lover. Okay, again, I feel like I have to defend this like I did with King of My Heart. Please show me Hackney, doesn't have to be Louis V, Up on Bond Street. The flow, the inspiration from like hip hop, the details, oh my god, it is such an experience to listen to London Boy. Every single line is like taking you somewhere else. I don't understand. I really don't understand this opinion. I don't speak your language. It's Nice to Have a Friend deserved a music video more than Cruel Summer did. Okay, the Cruel Summer music video would have been literally insane. Like the dynamics of that song, it's so tortured longing. I would have killed for that. No, that is not correct. I loved Cardigan when it first came out, but it was overplayed and now it's just eh. I actually have never really heard this song out in public or on the radio. Maybe like one time at this restaurant, like right after Folklore dropped, but I don't think it's overplayed. It wasn't given that like real single treatment, you know, especially because Evermore just like pushed it out of focus so quickly. Cardigan is a really good song. I actually like it better than Willow as like a single from the two sister albums. And then I got a lot of opinions that was like, Folklore is vastly superior to Evermore. Folklore trumps Evermore. Someone else said Evermore is better than Folklore. I actually think that Evermore is better than Folklore opinion is the one that is unpopular. It seems like people prefer Folklore and that makes me so sad because like Evermore is so contrasting. Each song is like insane. No Body, No Crime. Gold Rush. We don't have anything like Gold Rush on Folklore. She really went somewhere else with that. Ivy, Coney Island, Champagne Problems, Marjorie. Marjorie, in my opinion, rivals Epiphany. I think I read somewhere that Folklore is a better overall album as far as like cohesion goes and the way all the songs really flow into each other well sonically, but Evermore is like the individual songs are insane. Like they all outshine each other, which thematically is a little bit weird, but oh my god, as far as individual songs go, like there are so many shiny gems on Evermore, and yeah, they kind of clash together a little bit, but it's like every single one is like a 10 out of 10. I would rather have a Long Pond studio session for Evermore than Folklore. I wanted both so bad. I still kind of feel like we might get Evermore though. I don't know. There's some theories on Reddit that are really interesting that I highly recommend you look into. The whole Buckingham Palace thing, maybe her dropping it on Evermore's anniversary. I kind of see it. I'm kind of hoping for it. Peace sounds peaceful, but that drone and lyrics are the most anxiety-inducing thing ever. I actually feel like Closure gives me more anxiety than Peace. Peace is a really good song, and that drone also kind of makes an appearance in You All Over Me. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. We talked about it on my live stream. Peace and Hoax are about the same relationship. Insecurity is about her than about him. I kind of see what you mean, and I feel like these songs, when I listen to them, I think they're right next to each other on the album. They felt like sister songs. However, Peace to me feels incredibly personal to Taylor. I feel like that's 100% autobiographical. But Hoax is like kind of toxic, kind of like Edward and Bella jumping off the cliffside, screaming, give me a reason. New Moon, anybody? So I don't think it has any actual personal inspiration. Okay, this one confused me. No Body, No Crime is the only song about Essie. She's not a ghost or in CP or IA. Please stop. I don't know what this means. I do think Essie's not a recurring character on Evermore, if that's what she's saying. I don't know what CP or IA means. I tried to figure this out for so long. IA... Iowa? Cowboy Like Me is really good, but I don't think I worship it like everyone else does. I agree. It is really good. And it like, at first it was kind of underrated and then everybody went crazy for it. And now it's like a little overrated. I listen to 'Tis the Damn Season year round, as you damn should. Betty is my least favorite song, not just off of Folklore, but that she's put out in a while. Betty is one of my top ones off Folklore. How can you not like, oh my god, The Country, Call Back, Would You Tell Me to Go Fuck Myself? Oh my god. What do you not like about it? If you're brave and want to admit to submitting this. Like, that's nuts to me. Peace is the best song. I can't even strongly disagree with anyone who chooses a favorite song off of Folklore, because like, I don't blame you. Like, they're all so good. Even though for me it's illicit affairs. Dorothea is my number one from Folklore and Evermore. Sue me. I mean, I understand, man. Even though like I don't share this opinion. Well, I don't know. I can't pick a top fave off of both of them because it's either going to be Champagne Problems or Illicit Affairs. And those two really just keep spinning around in a circle, taking turns. I don't think that All Too Well is her best song. It is really good, but I think that many surpass it. The reason I put this in the Folklore Evermore category is because I can completely understand if there was literally anything off of Folklore or Evermore that you thought was better than All Too Well. I think the songwriting is a lot better than anything she's ever done before. For me, All Too Well keeps its number one spot though, mostly because of nostalgia, but also I love that genre of folk. Like, while Folklore and Evermore was very similar to Red and it was kind of folky, Red had like soft rock and it was like a very subtle difference, but it makes it for me. The sound of All Too Well, the way it builds, the way that bridge goes until she's like nearly screaming, like, I don't know, something about that just hits. Closure is better than Betty. I disagree. Closure makes me nervous and I love the way Betty is written. Safe and Sound is garbage. I don't know why people like it. And then the same person submitted, I don't like any of the non-album singles except Safe and Sound and Ronin. So I feel like somebody's playing devil's advocate over here. I don't understand why anyone would think it's garbage. That definitely is really unpopular. However, I do really like Eyes Open. I can't remember any of her other non-album singles off the top of my head, but like, I think there are some other really good ones. I just can't think of them right now. Ronin is an undiscovered gem though, completely underappreciated. None of the Christmas songs are good. None. Especially not Christmas Tree Farm. I actually would argue that Taylor does some of the best Christmas songs just in general. The girl grew up on a freaking Christmas Tree Farm. Like, she knows her shit. She knows what she's talking about. And I think Christmas Tree Farm is probably the best Christmas song she has. I know she has Christmas Must Be Something More and Christmas Is When You Were Mine, and I think those are okay. I do like the melody of Christmas Must Be Something More, but it has like religious ties. I'm not really into that. I love Christmas Tree Farm. It's so genius. Like, tying it into her childhood, I think that's so cute. And the beginning, it's like that jazzy kind of thing. I love it. I like Gasoline more without Taylor's singing. I love the verse and her voice, but it doesn't fit. I have no opinion on this because I have not listened to it without Taylor. I'm a guilty Swiftie. Am I the only one who doesn't understand the US version thing? Like, it sounds the same. I am also confused because I feel like I've seen something like this before, but I don't know what's going on either. Oh, wait a second. I guess the pop versions of some of the songs on Speak Now or whatever, like mine, are meant for international audiences, while the original is marketed more towards the US because it's more country leaning. The US version has more acoustic guitar than electric. That's what Reddit says, at least. I don't know. Birch is borderline unlistenable. It had to grow on me. I think the reason you probably feel this way is because Taylor doesn't have a writing credit on it at all. I feel like she could have added such a flair to that song, but I think her vocals sound really good, and I love that part that's like, it is swift your speed, and it's like a crescendo. I don't think all of her hints and Easter eggs are intentional, you guys. 100%. Oh my god. I'm so glad people are able to kind of like be chill with her TikTok. Like, we can calm down a little to just enjoy her fun, casual content and not like read into everything so hard. I mean, I feel like there are hints that are not intentional. Like her last TikTok, she was in Jack Antonoff's studio and it was like the background. I kind of think she did that on purpose though. She was probably like, I should film a TikTok in here. But I think it's just supposed to be like for fun most of the time. Like, a lot of stuff is just like the freaking 5 holes in a fence. Like, we were onto something and thinking that that photo meant something because she was trying to establish the theme of Lover, but like 5 holes in a fence. We really need to calm down. I'm also guilty of this though. Like, we can just enjoy a nice social media post from Taylor and not think that like 1989 is dropping at midnight. 13 is the unluckiest number. Not when you're a Swiftie. Whenever it's the 13th of the month, I'm like a little hopeful, like, ooh, something's gonna happen. So I would disagree. I think the fan conspiracy theories are fun, but some of them are ridiculous and go too far. 100% agree. It's kind of like when things cross a personal line is when it does get too far. Like, you can really say whatever you want about when you think what album is coming, or like just anything about her art, or like, I don't know, fashion, whatever it means that ties into music, like Bleachella. We think that means like the hidden album. However, things like the whole hand signal she was making unintentionally in that one interview and people thought it meant something that it didn't, I don't think that's good to be doing. Or, oh my god, it was so disgusting when people were saying things about the way she looked in the Cardigan music video and saying like, oh my god, she's pregnant because she looks like this. Did we not learn our lesson? I mean, I don't think it's bad to like, I don't know, if she has like artistic references that might mean she's trying to announce something like marriage or pregnancy to us, but based off of her appearance, that's a little gross. And I'm not gonna get mad at you if you're like, oh, I have a theory that they already got married. I don't think that's that bad, even though it's like personal, but like there are some stuff that definitely goes way too far. As I said, as a lesbian, stop with Gaylor. She has said she's not, and it's demeaning to her friendships. Yeah, I mean, we need to respect that. I mean, if you want to take a song like Betty and pretend it's like fruity for yourself, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but the only time it crosses the line is when you're like trying to make it personally about her. Heartbreak Taylor, next level Happy Taylor, next level Sassy Petty Taylor. Okay, as far as like attitude goes, yeah, Sassy Petty Taylor is the best, and Heartbreak is like the least because I don't want to see her sad. But like Heartbreak Taylor, when you're talking about like music, that's my favorite. And then next would be Sassy Petty Taylor of like Reputation, and then Happy. I mean, Heartbreak Taylor is like, that's like what her music is. I feel like historically, that's just what it is for us. Early Taylor has serious pick-me girl energy, but we all liked it because we did too. Yeah, I like the way this one's phrased too, because it's not like, oh, she was sending a bad message, which like no hate to whoever submitted that one. That was the way things were back then, like the societal ideas. She was just someone who was playing into it, and she was young. She didn't realize at the time. Yeah, there was a lot of N-log energy for sure. Taylor country is better than Taylor's pop. Country fans and pop fans can fight amongst themselves while I sit in my cardigan and listen to folk music. The merch designers need to do better. I've seen Swifties make concept merch 10 times better. Yeah, I do agree with this. There has been some stuff that I've really enjoyed, like the cardigan, for example. I think that one was really well done. But overall, it's kind of uninspired. People are definitely going above and beyond in designing their own kind of Taylor Swift merch. So yeah, I do agree. I never buy the signed CDs because then they wouldn't match my non-signed CDs. Look, I need to convince you right now. If you have the money and you like kind of want to, you need to buy yourself a signed CD. Okay, first of all, the Lover signed CDs are going for like 500 something bucks on eBay, and she's not even dead. Like, you have to think about that. The stuff for Folklore that was signed is already going for like 50 something bucks when I bought mine for like $13. Like, if you're in the US, you have the money, get your freaking hands on one. I'm telling you, I would never sell mine, you know what I mean? But like, knowing that that's how much it's worth, like, that's such a steal. Like, when the price increases so much just over time, and especially once you're like 70 years old and you have like a collection of all your like vinyls or CDs or whatever, and you're looking back at them, and like Taylor Swift possibly is long gone, and you literally have a signed CD. What? I think that'd just be amazing through the years to keep. Don't miss this opportunity. I act like I'm getting commission. And that is all. Let me know down below which ones you agreed or disagreed with, which ones made you scream. Make sure to like this video and follow me on Instagram to participate in the next video like this, and I will see you all next week for another video, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye guys.